All right, so if you watched the Q&A video, you would know someone from the audience reached out to me for some help on saving a cold email campaign. They've been trying to make this work for the last 2 months with no results. So we're going to dive into it. I took a brief look at some of the information and then made sure to redact or remove anything that was even remotely sensitive. So don't worry, everything is being kept anonymous, but this is just a live breakdown and sharing my thoughts, okay? And then for you, my friend who's watching this, you that sent this to me, by the time you're seeing this, I would have already responded to you via email, okay? So we're going to try and save this nightmare of, of a cold email campaign. So to recap, they reached out to me asking for help. The client is a creative agency and they target e-commerce, to be more exact, fashion brands. So my audience member set up some campaigns for the client for the last 2 months and has been running campaigns for the last 2 months, but has not managed to land a single meeting. So the campaigns get responses. The deliverability looks fine because they get out of office replies. But my audience member thinks that it must be an offer problem. Client has some decent case studies, but no interest from the market. So, member of my audience was nice enough to send me all the details. Again, I removed anything that was remotely sensitive. I would never put you guys in any sort of compromising position whatsoever, and you guys know this by now if you've been on my channel. But let's dive into it nonetheless. Okay, so if the deliverability is fine, then so the infrastructure is not an issue. Then we're really looking at either it's an offer problem, it's a targeting problem with your lead list, or perhaps how you set up your AI workflows to clean your lead list and do your targeting. It's a copy problem. Perhaps you're managing the campaigns incorrectly, but I mean, you're not getting any positive responses, so it's likely not that. And with what I saw on the success multipliers could be a factor, but that really would, if you've been running it for 2 months, with no positive responses, then yeah, it's probably an offer problem. That's the single most important part. Sales calls and your sales flow wouldn't matter at that point because you're not booking any meetings. So let's dive into this. So I did redact the client's website. Again, I'm not going to share that stuff on here ever, not even for my own clients. Unless they give me a testimonial. But anyway, so I took a look at this client's website, my friend, and so the client is a full service marketing and branding agency. They do a creative agency, but they do full service marketing and branding, including branding, website design, and website development, which are two very different things. So I should state them as separate things. And web development, content creation, social media management, email and text marketing, SMS marketing, SEO, direct mail strategy, B2B outreach, market. So they do what you do, I guess. Marketing and digital strategy consulting. So do you see the problem there already? Right. So my immediate concerns. Let me walk you through what I'm thinking. Again, I'm always open to being corrected and being wrong. But I've had enough clients and I've gone through enough nightmare situations to come to these conclusions. Okay. So my immediate concern. So the first thing I'm looking at is the offer, much like yourself, because it's the most important part of anything, period. You have a great offer. All you need is literally one sentence in the copy and it'll sell. So the first thing I'm looking at is the offer. And what's the flagship offer here? Like we have 9 different possible lanes we can go into. Right? That's not offers, that's lanes, because you can have retainer offers, one-time fee offers, performance-based offers, you can have, intro offers, you can have continuity offers, you can have lead generation offers, premium offers. So this makes your job, like, what's the flagship offer, right? Like, what do they do best? What are they known for? These are the questions that I'm asking now as I have had a chance to look at their website. Or are they seriously expecting you to test different offers across 9 different lanes? So SEO, the SEO lane, the direct mail strategy lane, the branding lane, the website design and develop, like it's like, whoa. Or are they just making you pitch full service? And I know you mentioned it, so I believe you mentioned it, so I'll scroll back through. But this makes your job, as you can tell, this makes your job infinitely difficult because you could have an infinite number of combinations of offers just for branding. Now add website design on top of that and add web development on top of that. And so, you know what I mean? So much of, so that's my first concern, which on its own, I would tell you to I'll give you my recommendation at the end, but this is not a great setup for you. Next concern is so much of branding marketing in general, but especially things like branding, graphic design, and that stuff, web, like front end web development and stuff. So much of branding, marketing in general, but especially things like branding, content agencies, is built on trust. The business owner is putting the trust in your hands, and it's hard to do that if it's tough to do. The way you do that is you demonstrate, you lead with a quantitative ROI that you would get as a result of doing my content, for example, or as a result of redoing my branding portfolio or whatever is being offered here, and I took a look at the case studies, and it seems to be the case, but we got to go even deeper, and I'll tell you what I mean in a second. But I get reached out to YouTube content agencies, let's say 1, 2, 3 times a day. And the idea, like, it's very, like, it's one of those things where I have to hear about you to trust you. I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about your client. You know what I mean? So like YouTube content agencies, there's maybe only one I go with, and it's the YouTube content agency. It's like because I've heard about them. And so we really have to compensate for this, to get around this. We really have to double down on making that case study a thing and helping them understand how this leads to a quantitative ROI. If we don't do that, if we fail to do that right there, like, this is where your cold email campaign lives and dies. It's the same thing for ads, any sort of marketing to cold traffic, period. If it was warm, if you hadn't seen my designs on my YouTube channel, for example, it'd be easy. We could run this all day, run retargeting campaigns and stuff like that. But I don't talk about ads much on this channel, at least not right now. But anyway, so if we fail at demonstrating what the quantitative ROI is in the cold email campaign, and this context is important because so much of this is strategy. Knowing why I'm about to edit your copy and the way I'm about to do it, if anything. But if we fail at demonstrating and leading with a quantitative ROI and making it seem really, really real and predictable over and over again, like, we don't leave it up to art and how much people like the art, for example, which is why some of these offers are better or worse than others. But if we fail at this, it immediately becomes a luxury expense. And Q4, this is like real business strategy. Q4 is not the time to be pitching luxury expenses. It's not. It's like I had a coaching business, coaching and consulting, but it was health and wellness. Q4 was probably our worst quarter. So because people are focused on closing out the year, if they're buying luxury expenses, it's for their family, perhaps some vacations. So these, like, luxury expenses for the business, that's more for Q1. Just, you got to keep that in the back of your mind. Macro strategy matters. So in my coaching business, I always made the most money in January, or in Q1 in general. Like, it would be like double, right? So you have to think about that. But you've been running it for 2 months, so you've been in the summer. So I guess that kind of doesn't really matter. But anyway, you should keep that in mind, because I say that to say, if we keep going in this direction, it's not going to get any easier. Now, you also have to think about what client is going to want any of these things, right? And let me just remind myself. Oh yeah, okay. So yeah, the offer is a bit all over the place, my friend. Like, this is like that is your problem. You're right. It's your problem, but I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to keep drilling down why you're right, so that you can spot this in future clients. Anyway, where was I? You have to think of, so if we're pitching this branding and full service marketing and whatever, creative work, it's the creative work it's creative work, right? So you have to think about what client is going to want this. It's not quantitative work, it's not like logical work, it's creative work. You have to think about what client is going to want this. The client has to have the money, so they can't be like with 2 employees or anything. But they also have to be open to rebranding, right? And so can we get like that? That takes a lot, like a lot of their time and attention and focus, and getting to know your client too. So my biggest thing is, can we properly communicate the benefits of this? What are we offering, first off? And then second, can we properly communicate the benefits of this? And then also think about how often companies go through full-scale rebranding anyway. It's very rare. When I worked for an agency, this was a staffing and recruitment agency. This was back in 2020. This was during the virus era. I don't know if we could say the C word on YouTube yet. But anyway, so they had been around for, I want to say 10 years, 7 to 10 years at that point. They had, when I was there, they did their first like rebrand, and they really just, they just renamed one of the divisions and redesigned the website and a couple of other different marketing material, but that's it. So it's very rare. So this is tough. Like, even like, I'm saying this, you know, as someone who takes on challenges, like this is tough. And I've said this before, I'll say this at the end of the video again, but so much of where I'm at right now, not anywhere special, but I'm a lot further than most folks. So much of where I'm at right now is because I have just figured out what kind of clients work for me and which ones don't. Like, I really stick to my guns. And you guys have seen me, if you've been following me on this channel for a while, like, you've seen me, you know, purposely raise my price up significantly. I'm also, what I'm not really mentioning a lot here is I'm scaling down. Like, I'm taking on less and less and less clients, and I'm purposely making it really, really harder to work with me, because I only really want a very, very, very specific kind of client, and I don't like having a lot of clients. You know what I mean? So it's like, I'm purposely, I'm scaring away, but I'm purposely, you know, it's invite only. Like, I'm purposely not dealing with 99% of clients. I'm not the guy that has 10, 20 clients. I know folks who run agencies have like 200 clients. It's like, that's just not me. It's just not how I want to run my personal agency. It also has allowed me to be successful. And this sounds like just a very classic situation. Just already just looking at it, just my spidey senses, where you're fighting a real uphill battle, my friend. I'm not going to ask you any personal information. If we were on a one-on-one call, I would have asked you, like, what did you ask them during the sales call? Because this is important. Like, what are they doing MRR wise or ARR? How many deals are they closing? How many clients are they getting? Because it sounds like you don't have to tell me, nor would I reveal this anyway. Obviously not. But it sounds like you're in a situation where you are saving a client rather than scaling them. I could be wrong. That's just what my gut tells me, okay? I'm always open to being corrected. But anyway, let's proceed. So you were nice enough to provide me some case studies, and of course I redacted some more information. But there were three major case studies that you shared with me that your client has. So they were responsible for taking a sort of like a baby wear brand from $350K to $1.1 million a year in revenue. They did that by handling that client's customer acquisition, right? So, okay, so in this case, they did customer acquisition. Now, here's the thing. In the next case study, they did digital. They did this through digital strategy, right? So they helped a different client, also a fashion brand, have their first profitable quarter in over 2 years by implementing digital strategy, you know, cutting inefficient spend, optimizing the partnership. Like, this is like, it's kind of all over the place. Like, they're doing either very bespoke work, or their offer keeps changing. And like, their first profitable quarter in over 2 years. Now, was there anything after that? That's an afterthought, but really it looks like the offer is all over the place. And notice how this keeps, like you said, like your gut said, notice how this keeps coming back to the offer. This is what's making your life hard. But it's important you see this so that you know you can spot it from a million miles away. This is how agency owners die, and they get eaten in the jungle. This is how, right? Because it doesn't feel like you're being taken advantage of, but you kind of are, because you're being asked to clean up the mess here. That's what you're being asked to do. And if you're gonna save this business is, you know, yeah, you know. Anyway, so let's keep going. Case study 3. So your client had done paid social, paid search, and handled affiliate channels in order to grow a business from $200K to over $1 million a year for a fashion brand. Okay, so in this case, they did paid social, paid search, affiliate channels. Yeah, so they're doing it. Like, what are they good at? What do they specialize in? Because they didn't repeat any of these things in any other scenario, right? So this is where your life becomes really hard. Because now you really got to test a million different campaigns, with different offers, different positioning, so on and so forth. Like this is not ideal. This is not ideal, my friend. You know, and so when I was reading all this, my thought was that you've been working at this for 2 months, like you said, and that's a long time in marketing years. Like you learn a lot and you can come a really long way in 2 months, especially if you were working with me. Oh my goodness, you're not a complete rookie. Like you're still in like rookie territory, but you're not like incompetent. You know your way around things. So you telling me all this, the fact that you haven't gotten them any results in 2 months immediately makes my ears perk up, right? Because with 2 months of sending, not like watching YouTube, but like 2 months of actually doing cold emails, like actually running and managing campaigns, you'd be able to book a meeting even by accident. So like you're not incompetent. Like what you're doing, right? So this this really makes my ears perk up at like what situation you're being put in here. But let's proceed. So you gave me some more information. You were telling me that you use Spintax in your copy. That's fine. That's good. Not the biggest concern, but that's good to know. And this makes sense because your deliverability seems to be fine. The leads, you got it from Apollo and you verified the emails with Ninja Verifier. Okay, cool. 99% of the replies are no thank you, not interested, stop. Okay, that sounds normal. See the positive, the one positive response you got was, what do you do? That's what I'm asking too. You see what I mean? Like, so I'm not surprised. And again, this is not your fault, my friend. Because this is now you putting on your consultant hat, and you, in another reality or in another timeline, you would have consulted the client on the fact that like you create the battle plan up front. You do it in your head while you're taking them on the sales call, and then on the onboarding call after that, you're presenting them with the battle plan and saying, hey, okay, this is my strategy. This is how we're going to attack this or approach this, so on and so forth. Here are the expectations. Here's how long I think it'll take for us to start seeing results, and then our process for lead handoff and so on and so forth. But like mapping out the battle plan first, we have to map it out in our head. And when I'd be talking to this client on a sales call, for example, this is what I'd be trying to figure out. I would straight up ask them, what do they do? And then what's their flagship offer? For example, if I was taking on Mercedes-Benz as a client and I was responsible for, I don't know, just say in a different world, we sell cars over cold email. Okay. I'd be asking, they have 10, 15 different models of cars. I'd be asking them, what is their flagship? What's their best selling car, period? Because that's what we're going to push. If I'm going to get you results, I need to know what's already working, because our job as marketers is to scale. So we need to scale what already works. I have this explicitly stated in my VSL, by the way. I say in my VSL, you have to be making X amount of money a month or whatever, a year or whatever. You already have to have product market fit. We don't save brands or we don't save companies. We scale them. I say that explicitly in my video sales letter. And here it sounds like there's a real lack of product market fit. Again, not your fault. I'm just helping you see what I see. Okay. Anyway, so I'm not surprised that they're asking, the one positive response you got in 2 months, again, not your fault, was, what do you do? Right. So next, the price for your client services is $5,000 per month retainer. So that's another big problem right there. This offer is not designed. It's not optimized for cold traffic. You're pitching retainers. That's like pitching a marriage to someone you don't know. And you may not be explicitly stating this in the copy. I don't believe you did, as I took a quick glance. But even still, the $5,000 per month is nothing. Businesses have money. Fashion brands, I don't really like that niche because, fashion brands, like only the top 0.1% of fashion brands actually have any money. Like e-commerce, you know what I mean? Like it's so far in between. Unless you get referred into it, But like... those folks don't have any money. They don't have any money. You're swimming in a pool where folks who don't have money. So this is tough, man. This is a tough fight here, and a lot of this is just knowing what battles to take on. So the price for the service is $5,000 per month. Yeah, the price doesn't matter. It's just like it's not optimized for cold traffic, including the design work for all their needs, helping with ad strategy, SEO, and improving retention with email, SMS marketing. They help any B2B business. but they have the most case studies in e-commerce, and they don't have a guarantee. Nor can they assure a timeline when the client will achieve X result. So they don't guarantee a result. They don't guarantee the time frame. They don't guarantee any results at all. They don't guarantee the level of results. They just want to go in front with the case studies to prove it works and not make any promises. Oh man, you need a new client. We could wrap this whole video up right here. We could wrap up this whole video right here. This is not for you. This is not for you. Check. Yeah, man. Like, yeah, man. This has to go, man. And I might give you a script or two on how to offboard a client, but I mean, nah, man. If you were working with me, man, and I would have just said, dude, like before you even take them on as a client, I would have said, let me see their website real quick, and I would have just said no for X, Y, and Z. Like, look, the offer statement has to be able to say. It has to be able to say, we help X company achieve Y result in Z time. Right? So I haven't really dug into your copy yet, but nah, man. So this is not optimized for cold traffic. They'll do anything. Like, they don't specialize in anything. They'll do everything. Like, I know Google ads agency owners. I know Facebook ads agency owners. I know SEO agency owners. I know email marketing agency owners. I know lead gen and deal gen agency owners. I know web design agency. Like, those are all their own like thing, as you know. I'm not telling you anything you don't know, but I'm just ranting right now. This is not a good setup, my friend. Because what do you pitch? Right? And they help any B2B business. Oh, that's why they don't have any clients, because they'll help anyone with anything. So that's essentially what they're offering. Their offer, sip of coffee, is we'll help anyone with anything. That's their offer. We'll help anyone with anything. Anyone with 5K, we'll help them with anything. But we can't guarantee anything. We can't guarantee anyone anything, even though we help anyone with anything. This is, you know what I mean? Does this sound as crazy to you as it does to me? And they don't know when. I don't know if I'm going to get your results, and I don't know when. B2B, if this was a coaching program, this would be something different. And it might as well be. It might as well be. If this was a coaching program, it would be different. You can get away with other things because you're transferring information and education. You don't need a guarantee if they trust you already. But if you're doing done for you work, there has to be a guarantee of some sort. There just has to, especially B2B. Even B2C, the plumber comes in and is going to fix your, I don't know, the pipe in the bathroom. Like, they got to guarantee that it works. If not, they keep working until it's, you know what I mean? Or like, there has to be this can't fly. What you got to do is offboard this client, my friend, and tell them to read Alex Hormozi's $100 million offers. And you just got to keep it moving, man. This is not your fault. You would make a killing with any other client. This is not good. I might come back to this rant, but we got to keep it moving. They want to go in front of the client. They want to go in front of their client with case studies to prove it works and not make any promises. Oh my days. That's it. That's the video. That's the video, my friends. That's it. Anyway, let's keep going. So the emails are from Google. You're sending 25 emails per day per inbox. Okay, that's cool. For these campaigns, targeted e-commerce, more specific below. So company size was from 5 to 50 employees. Okay, don't do less than 10 for this kind of thing, because you need folks with money. But even still, don't even bother with this. In the U.S., and you targeted CEO, co-founder, VP of marketing. Cool. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Maybe add in a director of partnerships in there, but really you'd still be looking at your CEO, founder, co-founder, and president for that. They tried. Is this in the U.S.? Yes, it is. Okay. They tried cold email before, but it didn't work out. I'm not surprised. They even tried agencies, but no result. They said, yeah, I'm not surprised. Okay, they pay you an infrastructure fee. Cool. Yeah, I'm not surprised, man. It's not your fault. Okay, so example copy. I'm probably not even going to go too deep into the copy because like this is not going to work if the offer sucks. I'm just telling you straight up. Like I wouldn't do a drop more of work on this. I'm just being dead honest. Because if I was, I mean, I am advising you, but if I was advising you personally, if we were on a call or something, I would say, listen, like every day moment you're spending with this client is money that you're leaving on the table that you could be getting elsewhere. It's a huge opportunity cost that grows more and more by the day. The more and more competent you get as an entrepreneur, as an agency owner, and the better you get as a copywriter, as a cold emailer, as an agency owner. So meaning that's a long-winded way of saying you could really be making a killing with a real client who really actually has some sort of a business. I've offboarded clients for this reason before. Right. So I like, so this is not your fault, but anyway, let's take a quick look at this copy. Okay. So subject line, first name, similar, roadblock. Yeah, that subject line wouldn't work. Just do quick question. Okay. Quick question, and then variations of quick question. So quick question, first name, quick question, something like that. Just stick with that. Okay. Hey name, curious, is this bottleneck hurting your launch opportunities? This doesn't matter. Just go straight into what you want at this point. I asked, and like we don't know what the bottleneck is yet, right? So unless you mentioned it and you redacted it. But anyway, I asked because we recently helped an e-commerce brand hit $4 million in revenue over a weekend. I don't know if you redacted it, but make sure if you're going to say this, you got to cite the actual brand. After redesigning their email campaigns. Okay, so here you're pitching email marketing. Apparently their old creative was killing their campaign. Get rid of the statement. Don't inform of anything. And apparently makes it sound really unsure, but just delete that line in general. This line has no purpose, right? The only lines that have a purpose are these ones right here. This is my cold email money printer blueprint. There's a relevance line. So, this tried to be a relevance line, but it's really not. What would be a relevance line is like, hey, I found you in X place, for example, right? Found your company while doing X. So, relevance line, you ask a question. Oh, I guess you tried to ask a question, but like it didn't really expose a real pain because we didn't refer to the bottleneck or anything like that. But anyway, offer statement, social proof, and call to action. Those are the only ones with purpose. So this is none of those. So we get rid of that immediately. We handle all design work. Okay, so here's the offer statement. We handle all design work for growing e-commerce brands, including email I would have said just fashion brands right there. That would have been very specific. That's okay. Including email campaigns, social content, and product designs with a 48-hour turnaround. This doesn't sound okay. So, it doesn't sound believable because these things take way longer than 48 hours. We just know this. So you'd have to be specific as to how this works. And now you're pitching 3 different things in one email, and these are all their different targets. Email marketing, social content, product design, those are all their different targets, right? With a 48-hour turnaround. Nah, and then worth a brief conversation. I would switch this to an interest-based call to action, something like just something simple. Open to hearing more, something like that, or open to learning more. So don't ask for the meeting. But this is just it just fails as an offer statement because there's too much going on. There's 3 things plus this doesn't sound believable. The fact that it takes a lot of trust. We handle all design work for growing e-commerce brands, including email campaigns. So I would go in with one of these. They'd have to pick their most profitable offer and just go in with that. That's what they have to do. Let me know this isn't relevant. That's fine. Okay. Subject line, first name. You got the same bottleneck. Yeah, you got to stop this. Do you have this problem? Subject line, you got to stop that. Hey name, we just helped and don't go in with we. Because now you're making it about you. Okay. E-commerce brand. I would have stopped reading the email right there. I don't. We don't really care what you did. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about your client, right? The recipient cares about themselves. So always in every single line, try and fill in what's in it for them or what this has to do with them. Don't talk about, and don't frame it in the way of like what you did. We just helped an e-commerce brand turn their email redesign into $4 million in revenue over the weekend. Over the weekend, so this took 1 week. Like, what was this past weekend? What's the e-commerce brand? Are you citing it specifically in your original copy? So all $4 million was generated in 1 week, right? Anyway, scratch that just off the fact that like this is not a relevance line. You'd be better off just removing everything and going straight into the offer statement. So remove this. We're their design team now. Everything from product 48-hour delivery with no revision limit. Or their design team now. Everything from I guess you're telling a story here. This wouldn't work. This wouldn't work. This wouldn't work because you're telling a story, and it's not like, nah. Because you could have just made this up, right? Which is kind of what they'd be thinking, because that's what I'm thinking, right? I'm not saying you did. I'm just saying this is how it comes off. P.S. Happy to show you what we did if you're interested. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of obvious. It's kind of obvious. So here I would have just put in an opt-out. This should be an opt-out. Again, this is not really your fault. So much of this is because you were put in a tough position. Campaign stats. I can barely see that. Campaign stats. So we have, hold on, I'm going to reset this. I'm going to, sheesh, it's tough to read. Okay. So about 2.4K emails sent, 1.5K leads. So everybody's getting about 2 emails. Bounce rate 0%. That's awesome. Positive reply 0%. So there's no deal flow going through this. 1.2% reply rate. That's okay. 2.7% reply rate. That's okay. Good. Cool. All right. I'm not mad at that. It's just we got to solve the offer problem because not getting any positive replies. And then after this, the client decided that you should target fashion brands using the case studies attached that you gave me. So you started some campaigns to promote to push the case studies. One with a personalized icebreaker, one with just the company name, and one targeting fashion brands who are already running Facebook ads. Yeah. Okay, so here's a red flag. The red flag is when the client starts to run the show. When the client starts making suggestions about targeting and stuff like that, they already don't know how to get results for themselves, so don't let them give you any advice. I'm glad you came to me. And the advice is really to just offboard. Like it's time to offboard. So, I would ask you like where you found this client, which is fine. It's after the fact. But I wish I was here to help you out earlier. But this is important. Every agency owner has to go through this so that they don't go through it again. You have to go through it. But yeah, you need to get away. You could really be making a ton of money for a different client. A lot of agency work is being selfish, right? Turning down more clients than you take on, and most of your ROI will come from knowing which clients to take on, like I said earlier. But this is good. It's a learning lesson. So they're starting to call the shots. You're now running campaigns off of their instruction, and they've never been able to get results with cold email, but they're giving you instructions. So this is already not going to work. I don't even have to see the stats, but let's look at the stats. So this was a very recent campaign, 0.8% reply rate. Yeah, I mean, sure, your stats are even worse. You haven't sent that many emails, but your reply rate is lowered by a tad bit, but enough. So, yeah, I mean, but I'm glad you reached out. I'm glad you reached out. So anyway, let's get out of here and let's keep going. So this copy says, hold on, I gotta zoom in a little bit. Sorry guys, I'm not a YouTuber. Y'all should know that by now. All right. Copy says, so subject line is first name, campaign question. Yeah. Let's get rid of campaign. There. Hey, first name. I just came across your ad on Facebook about your perfect pair of boots and wanted to run something by you. Are you using AI to come up with this? Are you using an AI agent to personalize this? That's a weird first line, but it's okay. It's better relevance than the other lines. That's fine. I'll take it. I'll assume it's accurate. I'll assume that whoever you're reaching out to is actually running an ad based on a perfect pair of boots or whatever the personalization is. Anyway, we partner with brands like yours that are ready to scale into the next phase. I'd remove that right there. By making ads more profitable, improving retention with email, SMS, and aligning creative campaigns that convert instead of just, yeah, so here we go pitching 3 different things again, right? That is what makes it unbelievable. That is what makes it unbelievable. You can't pitch full service marketing or full service anything over cold email. It just won't work. I talk about this in a lot of videos, but like there's 3 keys to really scaling a business, especially an agency, especially with cold traffic, because you're going to need cold traffic to scale any business unless like you're some super popular influencer. It's a premium offer that's designed for cold traffic. It's a system like AI cold email. So a system to get clients consistently with AI workflows, copywriting scripts, stuff like that, but AI cold email. And then authority and trust, so your success multipliers. And the offer, if you don't have the offer, then none of the other 2 things work. And the offer is no bueno because we're pitching 3 things here. And this is what makes it unbelievable, okay? So the rest of your email doesn't even matter because this thing is like all over the place. Again, they need to pick and choose what's their best-selling offer. And they can't, if they say, well, our best-selling offer is when we help them with everything. Well, then you got to run, my friend. It's time for you to get out of there because it's a sinking ship and they're bringing you down with them, as you can see by the results from this campaign, okay? It's not a reflection of you. If you had a better client, I promise you, you'd be booking meetings all day if that's what matters to you. I promise you. I've been in situations like this before. I have. Luckily for me, it worked out. But it's because I have scaled actual businesses of my own. And in this case, you're pretty much you might as well just go build your own business. I mean, you are as an agency, but you're building 2 businesses at the same time. So, you know what I mean? Anyway, I wouldn't wish this on you. Next line says, so for example, we partner. So I don't need the example. This wouldn't even matter. I would just delete it. I'd be happy. It's fluff. Like this is fluff in an email. I didn't even read the sentence. It's just fluff because it doesn't matter. Okay. I know this is your social proof line. But nothing matters because the offer sucks. If the offer was great, sure, these lines would work. I would keep them there. I'm removing them because the offer just killed. And like the 5 to 7 seconds that someone's going to read this, even if they even read it, they're going to stop right there. I'm telling you they will. I'd be happy to discuss how we'd help with your growth strategy for coming to just a conversation to highlight. No, because it's not just a conversation. It's a sales call. And you're asking directly for the meeting. Let's go an interest-based call to action because this isn't even clear, right? And, CTA. So an interest-based CTA is, again, worth hearing more about it, worth discussing further, open to learning. Well, that's like an interest-based, okay? Call to, remove these 2. Here. Not the best call to action, but better than whatever else you had. There you go. There. Okay. So that's that. And then call to follow-up. So this is email number 2. Okay, so we're bumping things. Don't do that. Just repeat the offer in a different way. I'd still be yeah. Remove this. Just paste the improve offer statement there. Just kind of spin tax in a different way from the first one. There. Just repeat the same thing. That's it. That's how you do a follow-up. Okay. Second campaign. Okay, so here you got one positive reply. Did you tell me what the positive reply was? Oh yeah, the positive reply was, "What do you do?" So I remember you saying it now. Okay. Hi, first name, found you on LinkedIn and want to say I love what you're doing at. Okay. Don't do the fake compliment thing. Just take it from found you on LinkedIn and thought I'd reach out. I know this is a bit of a long shot, but we work with fashion brands like yours to make the most out of their growth strategy. So this already flopped. Here you should have just put the offer with email, SMS, right? Or for example, with web dev, right? So again, see how the offer is killing your cold email campaign? Because it was just with what you had before was we help brands like yours make the most out of their growth strategy. No, it has to be we help brands like yours, grow by 50% through email SMS. Like it has to be very, very clear and very obvious and specific. We recently did this for a case study, scale the revenue by 500%. We worked with other fashion brands like Case Study, help it. Yeah, just get rid of this. None of this matters. None of this matters. Your copywriting is not the issue, my friend. Your copywriting is all over the place because the offer is all over the place. So, sorry I don't have better advice for you, but that's the best. That's actually like the golden advice because you've been trying this for 2 months. So I'm saving you another 2 months. Or I'm getting you your 2 months back. Follow-ups, don't do the just bumped thing, like we said before. If it's not this call to action, don't do the if it's not a fit, it's no worries. Don't do the it's a value to you. Interest-based CTA. This is all in the framework, by the way. This is literally all in the framework. Okay? So I'm not just pulling this out of thin air. I'm not just using my magic copywriting skills. I'm just pulling it from this framework. This is all in my head. Okay? I gave it to you guys for free. I'm not talking about you. I wouldn't expect you to have this. I'm just saying if you want to know where I'm getting this from and why I'm removing things, it's because I'm making it look like this. This is what I'm making it look like all the time. Okay? Remove this. Okay. There. I would just try that just as a micro campaign. Offer statement, then call to action. Just that's a demand capture. That's it. Follow up at still. Yeah. So same thing like I said before. Just repeat the offer. Syntax it so it reads a little different. Just throw it into ChatGPT. Okay, so I don't know who popularized this. It had to have been like the AI automation folks. But like personalizing the icebreaker with like some really like some compliment that you really don't mean, right? Hey, first name, I found you on LinkedIn and wanted to say that I really like your elegant resort wear at company name. Thought I reach. Yeah, no. It's okay. It's not as bad as like most of what I've been seeing nowadays, but sure, leave that. Anyway, we help fashion brands that have stalled in their growth move to the next phase of scaling by optimizing their growth systems. Yeah, this is terrible. It's just not specific at all. Not specific because again, it doesn't mention which of these. I'd be saying like my offer statement would be, we help you with content creation. Right, and then show how it's like easy on them, and then the quantitative result. Right, so and then if you're going to cite a social proof, you have to state the specific company. See how you have to re-explain yourself here. So we help fashion brands do X, Y, and Z. In practice, that means making paid ads profitable again on blah, blah, blah. So that should have been your offer statement. We help fashion brands make paid ads profitable again. That should have been the offer statement, okay? But again, you wouldn't have known this because the clients telling you we have 30 different offers we can make for 5K. It's like, I'll do anything for 5K. I'll mow the lawn for 5K. That's their offer. I'll mow the lawn for 5K a month and make it pretty. That's their offer. But we'll also shovel your drive. But we'll also do that all for 5K. We'll do everything and anything for 5K. All right. So this is not your fault, my friend. But yeah, that's how I would do the offer statement. So see, at least this was better because this is one offer. It's paid ads. Oh, and then never mind. Here we go, doing the email and SMS thing. So it's like kind of put your offer all over the place. Their offer all over the place. So it's important to know why this doesn't work, and then you'll be able to make offers work easy, no problem. I promise you. Let me get myself out of the way because I'm a little big here in the corner. Cool. All right. And then don't go for this. Go interest based. Now, takeaways. We're gonna wrap this up because I gotta record some stuff for Spectre, and this is getting a little long. So if you want to have a fighting chance, my friend, you need to zone in on one offer. Well, the client does. I don't know if you want to have this conversation with the client. I don't think it's worth it, to be honest. Don't fall in love with your clients. You need you and mainly your client, but you need to zone in on one offer, and the offer needs to be optimized for cold traffic, meaning it can't be a retainer. That's to start. Has to be one clear offer. So it can't be SMS, but also web design, but sometimes web dev, but sometimes branding, but sometimes email and SMS marketing, but sometimes SMS, but sometimes email, but sometimes SEO, but sometimes B2B outreach, which is what you do, but sometimes digital consulting and marketing and strategy consulting, but sometimes direct mail. It can't be like that. It can't. Because it makes outreach impossible. Impossible. There's no way they do their own outreach too. But anyway, then play around with the targeting from there. Okay, but the offer has to be dialed in. The offer dictates, like we spoke about earlier, and you already know this, I'm sure. But the offer dictates everything here. And they have you running around like a headless chicken because they haven't taken it upon themselves to develop a clear offer, and it's not your job to do so. It's not. Your client should have to, your prospect or your client has to come in with a clear offer. And if you're going to make it your job to work on their offer with them, then you need to charge more. I charge so much because part of what I do is really rolling up my sleeves and consulting folks, not on making totally new offers, but designing and structuring premium offers so that they can charge a lot, so that I can make a lot. Because as marketers, we take a percentage of what we make the client. Right, so that's why I charge so much. I don't just do cold email. I'm helping folks really redesign offers. Companies that are already making $1 million a year, which is it's not that much. It's like $80K a month. $80K a month MRR. Like it's not that much. Still a lot of room for a really premium offer. It's actually one of the perfect times. Anyway, it's likely too late for that. For you to go ahead and just expanding your palette and charging a consulting fee and stuff like that. So my best advice, honestly, I'm only ever going to be honest with you and guide you, because I like when you email me and tell me about your progress and your results. My best advice would be to offboard this client, as it's not worth your time. Let me know. I can give you some tips on what to say, but really it would just be along the lines of, hey, I made an executive decision, to go in a different direction, to focus my time on a specific set of campaigns that we're working on right now. We're overwhelmed. We're at capacity, and we will need to end our engagement, and then just prepare the offboarding items for them. Like that's what I would do, honestly. The faster you get out of this is taking up your time. Even though it's with AI, this is taking up your time. You stop this, and then you find a new client, and then a month from now, you're making 10K. I'm just throwing numbers out there, but it can happen like that quickly. That happens all the time. All right. So other than that, the copy is not terrible. I know you came to me to take a look at the copy, but the copy is not terrible. It does need some work, but the derivative of all this, like the foundation of all this, where the problems are stemming from, is not from your copy. Like you instinctively believed as well. So it's not your problem. Your problem is picking clients that you can't help. That's your problem. But that's a learning thing. All these are layers of skills that we learn. That's a skill in itself, okay? Really assessing a business and where they're at and where you can really help. So you are correct in assuming it's an offer issue. Yeah, you are correct in assuming it's an offer issue, but now we really know why. Okay, so I'm going to stop the video here. It's getting a little long. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. Other than that, you and I, my friend, can continue the conversation via email. See you guys in the next video. I'm out. Peace.